Wish I was a little bit taller, y'all. Wish I was a baller.
In 1995, there is no doubt that gangsta rap was still ruling the charts. In the midst of this, a song dropped that changed the game and was a breath of fresh air to hip-hop. The song was called I Wish by Skee-Lo. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. Wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat, a 6'4" Impala. The song was known for its lack of explicit lyrics at a time when artists like Snoop Dogg, Tupac, and Too Short were very popular. Skee-Lo's debut album was released shortly thereafter, earning him 2 Grammy nominations for both the album and the single. Not too long after this, Skee-Lo disappeared off the hip-hop map. So what happened? Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Skee-Lo started his career at the notorious Good Life Cafe in the early 90s, a legendary hip-hop spot where many local artists got their start.
I'm an original Good Lifer, in LA. It was like our underground freestyle is where we go to MC. And I tell you some of the cats that came out of there. We had Souls of Mischief, Far Side, Freestyle Fellowship, Ahmad, Volume 10, Corrupt, and the list just goes on.
Working his way through the hip-hop underground ranks, Skee-Lo managed to sign a record deal with Sunshine Records. Skee-Lo then got to work on his debut album, I Wish, an album that he produced in its entirety. When the single I Wish dropped, it was a wrap. That song was everywhere, accompanied by a video of him playing sort of a Forrest Gump kind of character. The song shot to the moon. Apparently, the song I Wish came during a time when Skee-Lo was not mentally feeling his best.
I wrote I Wish because at a time in my life when I felt most down, it was something that made me happy personally.
After the success of I Wish, Skee-Lo discovered that his label, Sunshine Records, had taken credit for producing the hit and controlled the publishing and profits. He also claimed the label took his production credit despite him composing the song in his bedroom. This led Skee-Lo to retire from the music industry for a period of time in protest, as he was not willing to work for free. After years of legal battles, Skee-Lo successfully won back the publishing rights to I Wish. He now serves as the exclusive owner of I Wish in overseas territories and the majority owner in U.S. territories. He owns his publishing and now receives all the payments from licensing his music for use in commercials, movies, and other media. The song even appeared in a 2013 Super Bowl ad. And yes, Skee-Lo got paid for that. See, people, this is why it's important to own your product. I'm sure many of the artists who came out at that time are not fortunate enough to own their own music. Think about it. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, only to sell it off for basically free? The music industry is no joke. Ownership is everything, and shout out to Skee-Lo for having the wherewithal to know that at the time. The problem is a lot of rappers come up in rough environments, they're broke, so what do? They sign the first contract the label puts in front of their face. They'll give you a little funky $25,000, and most kids Skee-Lo's age probably had never seen that much money in their lives. $25,000, man, I'm taking that. Not knowing that if their business sense was a little better, they could negotiate and turn that little $25,000 into a lifetime of residual income. If I had to guess, I would comfortably guess that the song I Wish has made Skee-Lo at least $1 million. 30 years later, I still hear that song everywhere. Karaoke bars, basketball games, TV shows, radio, everywhere. People like to clown artists like Skee-Lo. oh, he's a one-hit wonder. First of all, it isn't easy creating one hit. Ask the millions of failed musicians who have tried throughout history and failed. And in the case of Skee-Lo, this one hit quite possibly made him a millionaire. Something to think about, kids. Stop selling off your creativity to the first bidder. Know your worth. Skee-Lo knew his worth, and I'm sure he's happy with his decision. Aside from releasing some stuff throughout the years, Skee-Lo has pretty much quietly stepped away from the scene. I probably would have also if I were in his position. The music game is trash, and I'm sure the situation he was in during his debut album left a sour taste in his mouth that lasted for years. But what do you guys think? Did you enjoy the single, I Wish by Skee-Lo? I mean, if you're over 40, 45, you were definitely bumping that song. It was a great song, and I just rewatched the video today, and I rewatched a couple of Skee-Lo's other videos. Top of the Staircase was one of them. That was a really good song that was played in the ending credits of Money Train, I do believe, with Wesley Snipes. But I listened to his music, and man, it took me back to such a great time. And not only that, I was just watching the videos and just thinking about the clothes and how I felt at that time in 95, 96, 97. Just a great time, man. I was in high school, and I really, really enjoyed that time. But I would definitely highly suggest you guys check out Skee-Lo's album. And I'm going to ask you guys to do that specifically because Skee-Lo does get paid if you stream and listen to his album. So go to your Pandora, go to your Spotify, go to your Apple Music, and type in Skee-Lo and take a trip down memory lane. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Shortly after I discovered gangsta rap in the late 80s, I came across the music video on TV where a female rapper was dissing members of NWA and Geto Boyz. I remember recording the music video and playing it over and over and over again on my VHS. Not long after that, I ran to my local swap meet to buy the tape so I could hear the explicit, unedited version. The song was called The Big Payback by MC Choice, a hardcore female MC from Houston. She went hard at Eazy-E. She went hard on Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, yeah, you the one sucker. I had you melting in my pussy, motherfucker.
She went hard on Dr. Dre.
The motherfucking bitch. Wearing garter belts, lace and lipstick.
She went hard on Geto Boyz.
Or did you get the damn midget? Fantasy Island.
She went hard on Too Short.
Too short, your black ass belong to me.
Born in San Antonio, Choice relocated to Houston in the late 1980s. She made history as the first female MC signed to Rap-A-Lot Records, debuting with the feature on Geto Boyz Willie D's 1989 album, Controversy. Her solo breakthrough came in 1990 with the release of The Big Payback. On The Big Payback, Choice tears into NWA heavy. She goes hard at Ice Cube, Too Short, the Geto Boyz, and even her Rap-A-Lot label mate, Willie D. It was a move that was both daring and disruptive. A female rapper amplifying her voice by dissing the biggest male figures in hip-hop. Her lyrical aggression blasted stereotypes and wielded sexual bravado as her weapon, something few women in hip-hop had ventured into so overtly at that time. Now we see it all the time with artists like Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and Sexy Red. But back in 1990, this was extremely rare. Despite her breakthrough, gaining some buzz and stirring up the pot, Choice's solo career ended abruptly after her second release, 1992's Stick and Move. She never released another album after that. Lil' Kim, pay homage. Trina, pay homage. Cardi B, pay homage. Nicki Minaj, pay homage. Adina Howard, y'all remember Adina Howard, baby, pay homage. Megan Thee Stallion, pay motherfucking homage. Sexy Red, you already know what I'ma say. Pay homage to the Trailblazer MC Choice. Because without her, there may be no you. Now, thinking about MC Choice, as I have from time to time over the years, it makes me think about the journey of the female MC throughout hip-hop history. The journey for the female MC has been a rough one. Very few males make it in hip-hop, but even fewer females make it in hip-hop. Either you were too sexy, not sexy enough. It was a really tough road for most female MCs. And then you got dudes trying to bang you behind closed doors. Oh yeah, the casting couch is real. Jessie Reyez has a great song called Gatekeeper that I love. I would highly suggest you guys check it out. It tells a great and grim story of the journey of the female musician trying to make it throughout music. But take yourself back to 1990, whether you were around or whether you weren't. There was nothing like MC Choice, or there were very few like MC Choice. And now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, in 1990, I don't remember anyone with lyrics like MC Choice. Telling people to eat her coochie and saying things that 30 years later, Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B would be rapping about on stage at the MTV Awards. Must have been hard for her to make it. Probably scared a lot of record executives off. Because think about it. Lil' Kim, didn't come out till, 6-7 years after this, right? So MC Choice was way ahead of her time. And I've always respected artists like this, and that's why I want to keep their names alive. Because without her, there would be no of all the other women I just mentioned earlier. There would be none of them. She's definitely a trailblazer, and that's why I'm giving her love today on my program. Go check out her single. I wonder what she's doing nowadays. I would love to interview MC Choice. I'm going to see if I can make that happen somehow. If anyone out there knows MC Choice, can reach out to her. I've made this request before about other artists that I wanted to interview, and someone's like, yeah, I know him, and then they connect me, and now I have an interview with them. So I'm putting it out there. I would love to interview MC Choice and talk to her about her brief history in music, because it is a very interesting one to me. I would just love to know what she went through in her brief time.
Smoking on the bud, feeling kinda high. Sipping on the gin, feeling kinda fine.
Whatever happened to Mista Grimm? Mista Grimm hit the scene hard with his debut single, the Warren G produced Indo Smoke. Every pothead from the 90s remembers that song. Whatever you do, motherfucker, you bet not choke. This ain't no stress, it's the motherfucking Indo Smoke. The catchy hook was courtesy of none other than the Hook King himself, Nate Dogg. Mista Grimm had a flow that was a breath of fresh air out of the West Coast hip-hop scene. He sounded different. He didn't sound like anyone out at that time. I personally thought Mista Grimm would be the next big superstar out of the West Coast. Then, he disappeared. So what happened?
Smoking on the bud, feeling kinda high. Sipping on the gin, feeling kinda fine.
Let's go all the way back. Mista Grimm was raised in West Covina, California, a city nestled in the San Gabriel Valley section of Los Angeles County. After years of hustling to get into the music biz, Grimm signed a deal with Epic Records sub-label 550 Music. His first release, Indo Smoke, hit the charts hard, peaking at number 56 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 63 on the Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs, number 12 on Hot Rap Songs, number 40 on Rhythmic Top 40, and number 7 on Hot Dance Music Maxi Single Sales. With the single like Indo Smoke, it seemed Mista Grimm was destined for stardom. The song even ended up on the Poetic Justice soundtrack. Not only did stoners appreciate the song, but hip-hop enthusiasts alike appreciated and praised Mista Grimm for his different style. The following year, Grimm released a single titled Situation Grimm that appeared on the Higher Learning soundtrack. Now, if anyone out there has not checked out the Higher Learning soundtrack, I would highly recommend it. The soundtrack featured everyone from Ice Cube to Outkast to Raphael Sadiq to, that's right, Mista Grimm. Side note, if you haven't checked out the classic movie Higher Learning, please do. It is a great film that still holds up well to this day. Shortly after this, Mista Grimm completed his debut album, Things Are Looking Grim, that was originally set to be released during the summer of 1995. However, after the album's lead single, Steady Dippin', failed to make an impact, the album was shelved. There were still hopes for Mista Grimm, though. In 1997, he was featured on DJ Pooh's classic album, Bad News Travels Fast. His songs Grow Room and Ebonics were personally my favorite songs on the whole project. If you haven't checked out that DJ Pooh's Bad News Travels Fast album, do yourself a favor and give it a listen. There are some heavy hitters on that album. It's a true masterpiece, in my opinion. After Mista Grimm was featured on this album, I definitely thought, this is it. This is the time that Mista Grimm is gonna blow up and become as big of a star as Snoop Dogg and Nate Dogg. This is what I thought. But unfortunately, I was wrong. Little has been heard from Mista Grimm after 1997. I mean, he literally disappeared. He doesn't do interviews. And aside from a couple of random appearances here and there, he's never released any more music. But why? Even as much research as I've done in the past 20 plus years on Mista Grimm, I frankly do not know. Did he burn bridges with certain people in the industry? Did he gracefully bow out thinking, maybe this music biz isn't for me? Did he go to prison? I don't know. I do remember back in 1994 when Warren G was on top of his game, he released a song called Do You See? You don't see what I see every day as Warren G. You don't hear what I hear, 'cause it's so hard to live through these years. Great song. In one of Warren G's verses, he says a line that I've always found interesting. He mentions Mista Grimm by name.
It's been on ever since when we and Mista Grimm. The shit is getting so hectic that I can't even trust him now.
This would have been right around the time of Indo Smoke. So did Warren G and Mista Grimm have a falling out shortly after the release of Indo Smoke? I wish I knew. But Warren G hasn't mentioned Mista Grimm at all throughout the years. Not in songs, not in interviews, nothing. Little is known about Mista Grimm's whereabouts today, but one thing is for sure. He created an anthem that has become a cult classic. Indo Smoke still plays on rotation on radio stations all over the country. Every April 20th, aka 420, that song gets a rebirth as potheads all over the world stream the song as they puff away on their bud. There have been so many great 420 songs released throughout the years, but Indo Smoke will always be at the top of the list. What are some of your favorite 420 songs? Is Indo Smoke on the list? Comment down below. Also, if anyone knows how I can get in touch with Mista Grimm, please let me know. I would love to interview him on my program.
Niggas playing deadly motherfucking war games. And nigga rapping about my motherfucking life. I'm talking fake ass motherfucker.
Tupac was dissing everyone on this unreleased track, War Games, from 1996.
How many broke down rappers got some shit to say? I sit and strategize in due time, them bitches pay. Plus all day I puff weeds and my eyes bleed red. Undercover tactics, leave my enemies.
War Games has an interesting story. The beat was produced in February 1996 by Daz Dillinger and was produced around the vocals for Tupac's How Do You Want It? It was intended to be the How Do You Want It Daz remix. Tupac and the Outlaws revisited the track in June or July of 1996 and completely flipped it. From a track for the ladies to Tupac declaring war and targeting everyone he had beef with at the time.
I know you niggas got no love for me, but how the f your whole clique turn the thugs on me? Like misdemeanors, it's a small thing. You niggas ain't ready for war, let my balls hang.
This would have been just 3 months before Tupac lost his life on that unfortunate night in September 1996. This was at the height of the East Coast, West Coast beef. And Pac was ready for war. At least he sounded like he was in this song.
Bust it, I took apart your whole crew like heart. I ain't concerned, I bust on bad boy, mob deep and to the firm. When you scream fake thugs, who the f you mean? Get more cream than all of y'all, nigga, fuck your team.
Tupac took direct aim at Bad Boy, Mobb Deep, Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, King Son, Nas, and The Firm. He was going at everyone's neck.
Listen, do-wop, don't get your shit knocked, you can't win. Tell them all to let the games begin. We having war games.
The song was never released, which was probably a good idea, being that the tensions were still so high in the streets, and this would have intensified things. We already know why he was going at Bad Boy. He thought Puff and Big had something to do with him getting popped at the Quad Studios in 1994. But why did he go after the others? Let's start with Jay-Z.
Plus Jay-Z tried to play me, won't last long.
Tupac's animosity towards Jay-Z stemmed from a combination of factors, including his association with Biggie Smalls and the East Coast rap scene, as well as the perception that Jay-Z was copying West Coast rap styles. There were also specific incidents like Jay-Z's appearance in the Dead Presidents video and a line in Brooklyn's Finest that fueled Tupac's anger. In the song that ended up on Jay-Z's album, Biggie says, "If Faith had twins, she'd probably have two Pacs." Get it? Two Pacs. His beef with Mobb Deep stemmed from Tupac's interpretation of their song Survival of the Fittest, which was released when Pac was locked up, where the line, "Thug life, we still live in it," was perceived as a direct challenge to Tupac's thug life persona.
Murder Mobb Deep.
Mobb Deep also released a song called Drop a Gem on Him, where they made some allegations about someone taking Tupac's manhood while he was behind bars. Tupac's beef with Dr. Dre stemmed from Dre leaving Death Row due to all the shenanigans and turmoil that was going on behind the scenes that Dr. Dre was getting tired of.
Now Dre wanna switch sides. Tricks hiding war. Last year I shed tears, but I don't cry no more.
Now, King Son is a rapper out of New Jersey who was arguably one of the first people to diss Pac on record. So, Pac had King Son on his radar for quite some time.
Go ask King Son how it feel to have your ass gone.
The Firm was a group that consisted of Nas, AZ, and Foxy Brown. Their first album together was produced by none other than Dr. Dre, Pac's sworn enemy at this time. So, of course, The Firm were on Pac's hit list.
I ain't concerned, I bust on Bad Boy Mob Deep and the Firm.
The song War Games was never released to the public. The vocals were released online, and several people have made remixes to it. Daz would eventually reutilize the beat on the Dog Pound track Get a Strippin', which dropped in 2001.
Tell them all to let the games begin. We having war games. Y'all niggas can't feed this shit. Got 5 times, got out of jail on bail and sold 5 million.
What is your favorite Tupac diss song? Mine was Hit 'Em Up. First off, F your bitch and the clique you claim. West Side, when we ride, come equipped with game. I remember being at a party and everyone in the party was reciting the lyrics to Hit 'Em Up, word for word, including the rant that Tupac went on at the end of the song. Now, Tupac's other diss song, Bomb First, was a close second. And in my opinion, Pac's lyrics on Bomb First were more scathing than Hit 'Em Up. We bomb first when we ride, please reconsider before you die. We ain't even trying to hurt nobody tonight, but if it's my life or your life, I'm a bomb first. But what are your thoughts on Tupac's diss songs? And more importantly, his unreleased diss track, War Games. Did you know a Wu-Tang affiliate by the name of Killa Sin once allegedly broke Mace's jaw? Y'all remember Mace? Shiny suit Mace? Puffy's right-hand man at one time. When Big passed, Mace was the #1 guy over at Bad Boy. Killa Sin was part of a group called Killa Army. They were one of the earliest and most successful of the many Wu-Tang affiliates, along with Sons of Man. The story of Killa Sin allegedly breaking Mace's jaw has floated around hip-hop circles for years, mostly through word of mouth, interviews, and street legend. It's one of those incidents that never made mainstream headlines, but became part of hip-hop lore. This was at the height of the Bad Boy versus Wu-Tang era. If you were from New York, you were either down with the gritty, grimy, hardcore hip-hop style of Wu-Tang, or you were down with Bad Boy, who had a more polished, commercial, shiny suit sound that dominated radio at the time. There was a cultural clash. Many Wu-Tang affiliates and New York street rappers in general saw Bad Boy's image as too soft and commercialized. There wasn't an all-out war, but the two camps were not aligned. Bad Boy's flashiness often rubbed underground MCs the wrong way. Wu affiliates didn't respect Mace's shiny suit persona, considering it soft compared to their militant, street-heavy lifestyle. Sin, being known as a no-nonsense enforcer type, might have seen Mace as an easy target for disrespect. According to multiple accounts from insiders and hip-hop folklore, the alleged altercation happened in the late 90s, often said to be at a nightclub or studio in New York. The story varies depending on who's telling it. Killa Sin, who had a reputation for being a real street dude, not just rapping about it, reportedly confronted Mace. The story goes that Mace said or did something perceived as disrespectful, and Sin didn't hesitate. Allegedly, Sin punched Mace in the face, breaking his jaw. Some stories say Mace said something slick or disrespectful in conversation, and Sin responded violently. What made the story grow legs and gain even more traction was the fact that Mace stepped away from the limelight for a while until his wired shut jaw was fully functional again. Killa Sin never publicly bragged about it, but the story followed him, adding to his reputation as one of Wu-Tang's most feared affiliates. Mace, already dealing with street pressures and inner city conflicts about his rap career, soon after retired from hip-hop in 1999, saying he wanted to follow God. While unrelated, the timing fueled speculation that the streets were not for him. To this day, the Killa Sin broke Mace's jaw tale is repeated in hip-hop circles as an example of the real-life clash between street rappers and commercial rappers in the late 90s. It cemented Killa Sin's reputation as one of the most feared Wu affiliates and reinforced Mace's reputation, fairly or unfairly, as someone not built for the street side of hip-hop. Because there are no police records or major press coverage, this story lives more in the realm of hip-hop folklore than official history. But multiple industry insiders have hinted at its truth, and it's become part of both rappers' legacies. Not too long ago, I interviewed Dom Pacino, a hip-hop legend from Killa Army, the same group Killa Sin is from. Here is Dom Pacino giving his recount of what he remembers about the Killa Sin breaking Mace's jaw situation. Do you ever keep in touch with Killa Sin, who's currently doing a long bid in jail?
I haven't. This bit, Killa been in and out. This bit, I haven't really been in touch with him. I do keep up to what's going on with him, and I did go to his sentencing. I was actually me and his wife was the only one of his sentences. I actually put the song on. I did a song on my last album, More Poetry, too, with Bronze Nazareth's production. I did a song called Kite to Killer. So that was my letter to him, being I haven't been so active writing a letter. Okay. This big one. But I was there at his sentencing, and like I said, it's just me and his wife. I'm talking about nobody else.
Damn,
no fans.
That's cold.
When he got sentenced, nobody was there but me and his wife.
Wow, dude, that's crazy, man. Out of all the thousands, out of all the thousands and hundreds of thousands of people you have around you, and at the end of the day, it's just two people by your side when you're about to do a long ass bid. It's real. I'm not to say anyone got no love. He didn't have the love. It's just that day, which I would think is a big day when you're going away. Yeah.
I would think it would have been a little different, but I mean, we were there, we held it down, man, and it was real. And I wrote a song about it, man. Because that shit hurt me. That shit honestly hurt me, bro.
Yeah, I could only imagine, man. I have people doing the same right now, and it's a bad situation, especially when they're good people, and you know them for the real person.
Yeah, he's a good brother, man. Real good brother, man. Just the streets got the best of him, and unfortunate situations, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The street gravitation, man, got the best of him, but definitely got the biggest heart, definitely great talent, genius on the mic, you know what I mean? And it's just, it's unfortunate, man. But shout out to Killa, love you, miss you, bro,
Any truth to him breaking Mace's jaw?
Honestly, man, I heard about it. We never even talked about it. It was so many jaws being broke at the time. Honestly, I don't think it was a big, I heard it too. I heard it like you heard it, and it's like it wasn't like something. It's like maybe it would have been talked about if it was something that was uncommon going on, but a lot of people came across us the wrong way and ended up hurt. So I don't. It was really, like I said, I can't tell you if it's a fact or not, but of however it got around, somebody must have witnessed it.
Yeah.
How far?
Did Killa Sin really break Mace's jaw over disrespect? This has been a hip-hop urban legend that has been floating around for decades. I recently released a video on this topic, and for whatever reason, it got a little bit of heat. Look, I don't know if the story is true. I never said it was true. I was just posing the question. Did Killa Sin really break Mace's jaw? Most people in the comment section don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, but I thought I'd read some of your comments from this particular video I released earlier this week, titled Killa Sin Broke Mace's Jaw Over Disrespect. Did it really happen? After we go through some comments, I'll play the original video so you don't have to dig around in my video section looking for it. Here we go. Your comments for my video titled Killa Sin broke Mace's jaw over disrespect. Did it really happen? J-Max says, back in the days, there was a rumor that Ghostface did it, but I wasn't there, so I don't know. I did hear that during my research, and I'm pretty sure Ghostface has already mentioned that that is not true. It was not him. Brooklyn Baby 3270 says, I thought Ghostface broke his jaw. There's another one. I think I'm going to title this video, Did Ghostface Break Mace's Jaw? Just to piss everybody off. Dirty Weaponry, one of the illest Killa B albums. Killa Sin solo album would have been dope. Free Killa Sin. That is true. And I do believe Killa Sin is still locked up. Lewis the God says, Big L got Mace robbed for his Rolex, and Baby Maine had a major beef where multiple people passed behind it. I don't think no other rapper had more street beef than Mace. He had a rough run. Yeah, Mace had a rough career. People see him with the shiny suits and always smiling. And they probably pressed him a lot. If I had to guess, he got pressed a lot. McCoy Koken says he hit Mace with a champagne bottle. Now, these are all comments from the comment section. Hearsay, urban legend. No one knows what truly happened. So to the people who think they do, to the people who think they actually know what happened, and I know what happened, you don't know shit. Okay? Once again, you don't know your ass from a hole in the ground. Killa Sin is one of the most underrated MCs. That is true. Killa Sin definitely was a force to be reckoned with on the mic. Nostalgic Mike says a Killa Sin solo would have been fire, fire, fire. Hassan Burton says Killa Sin, burning season. Dr. 2729 says Mace already said it wasn't him. It's some other Mace. Fake story. I guess just because Mace allegedly said that it wasn't him, that it was some other Mace, that it didn't happen. All right, buddy. Sin Struck says, oh my God, this is a long message. I'm not going to read all this. I'm sorry. The bottom line is this. People need to stop trying to put labels on people and having others forming preconceived notions. Sin's reputation precedes him, which is part of a bigger problem. It's people pushing false narratives like the ones portrayed in this video that's caused that man more harm than good. Once again, I was posing a question. Did it really happen? It's right there in the title. Did it really happen? I never said it happened. So Sinstruck, calm down, buddy. Sinstruck says he's really not a violent person or the type of person on the type of time that he's rumored to be on. He's really not the offensive type. Any situation that he found himself in was defense. I don't know what y'all call yourselves trying to line that man up for when he touches down. Just know that we see you. If you scared, say you're scared. What the heck, dude? All right, somebody smoking some good shit or something, bro. I can't read. And that's why I don't read comments that are more than 2 or 3 sentences. If you can't get your point out in 2 or 3 sentences, you probably don't have a point. And I think I just proved that with whatever I just read right there. Sinstruck continues. Damn, he was on a roll like 3 a.m. and bro was up typing like this. Go to sleep, man. Stay off the whatever you're on. Sinstruck says, look, Dusty Vision, look, never mind all the sucker shit and semantics. What's the purpose of the video and even bringing something like this up in the first place? And then he goes on for way more sentences that I'm pretty sure is some babble. But you ask what the purpose of the video is? The purpose of the video was for you to watch it and comment on it like you did. So it sounds like my mission has been accomplished. If there's one thing I've learned on my about 7 years here on YouTube is that the comment section is always right. And I put right in quotes. In reality, most of y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I appreciate you all. Before this Video continues, please hit that like button if you haven't already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button.